What's going on? What's going on, family? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Happy Wednesday. This is the first Wednesday of the new year. I told you we're going 365 videos. If you don't know who this is Dr. Mark Abraham, the #1 speaker in the world, and I am the president and CEO of MEA Consulting Services LLC, the fastest growing consulting company in the country. We specialize in training leaders to lead. That's what we do. I give you the strategies that are needed to create success. Here's one thing I know, that winners win. Winners find ways to win. And you might see me in this hoodie and this jacket, this vest on. You say, Doc, what is the deal, Pickles? It's cold outside. That's what the deal is. We're preparing for a snowstorm that should be coming this evening and lasting. Our schools have been closed. They're putting a travel advisory out. Don't travel. My heart goes out and prayer goes out to the folks in Virginia that are on that highway. I pray, that they make it and can finally make it home to a safe home and a warm home, and get some food in their bellies, because that's tough. They say you should always have water. You should always have blankets in your car, especially in the Northeast, because you never know what's going to happen. Now they're saying they think you should have some food in the car. I don't know if I should have food in the car. I might eat that up just off GP. I might just come from the gym and be like, you know what? I knew I had some emergency cookies up in this joint. They got to go down today. Hey, so listen. We've been talking to leaders about this idea of having a theme for 2022. This idea of having something that creates internal drive within the folks that are following us. And something completely hit me. I was writing this article and something hit me. I was reading that 33% of school principals said they want to quit their job. 70% of school principals said they're just holding on, waiting for another opportunity to arise. That hit me. That hit me like a ton of bricks, because all this time I'm talking to leaders. All this time I'm talking to leaders about create a theme and to have people focus on this and have people focus on that and to lead them into success. All the while, and please forgive me, all the while I wasn't thinking about the leader. Like, I was making assumptions, and forgive me. Partially I was making this assumption. I hope my iPad don't fall. Partially I was making this assumption. The assumption was that the leader wasn't afraid. The leader wasn't fearful. I was making the assumption that the leader was good mentally, emotionally, psychologically. So leaders, if you're watching this, I apologize, because I didn't put into consideration that you may be afraid, that you may be worried, you may be scared. And so as I'm writing this article and I'm seeing this and I'm researching and I'm looking at this, I'm saying, yo, I got a lot of leaders right now that we got to make sure that we firm them up on the inside of their heart. Like, we got to make sure that we firm them up and let them know that, everything is going to be okay. Like, that's my job as a coach. I got to let you know that everything's going to be all right. But the first thing we have to do is we got to pinpoint your fear. Like, take the time, if you watch this video, take the time, leaders, to write down your fears of your organization. Write down the things that you're afraid of. Write down the things that have you worried. Write down the things that keep you up at night. We can't move forward unless we address your fear. I don't know what your fear is. I don't know the thing that keeps you up at night. I don't know the thing that has you concerned, but for me to try to tell you to have a theme for your building and we don't address your fear, and oftentimes our fear is groundless. Our fear is oftentimes, our panic is often groundless fear. And oftentimes the things that we're afraid of more than likely don't come to pass, and they are not in our, like, they're not in our present right now. It's something that we're thinking about in the future. I heard this in my spirit when I was driving here and thinking about doing this video was spend more time with your faith and less time with your fear. Feed your faith and starve your fears. Leaders, spend more time thinking about what good things that are going to happen. Because the reality is, the thing that you fear and the thing that you believe in positively both have not happened yet. Like you the thing that you're so concerned over, the thing that keeps you up at night, more than likely has not transpired yet. It's something that you're thinking about that's going to happen in the future. So since you're thinking about that thing that's going to happen in the future that has you afraid, think about something that can possibly happen in the future that can make you put a smile on your face. Spend more time with your faith and less time with your fear. That doesn't mean that I'm in a fictional world and I don't know problems don't arise. But I'm telling you, for your own mental health, for your own well-being, take the time to spend thinking about the good things that can happen versus the bad things that can happen. So number one, I need you to write down what your fears are. What are you afraid of? No matter what leadership position you're in, no matter what you're doing, I need you to write down your fears. We need to address them. We need to put light on those fears. See, fear don't like light. Fear does not like light. I'm saying light, like illumination. When you start to put the flashlight on fears, it starts to run away. Fear enjoys being in the back of the booth in the corner, scary, under the bed, the shadows that you can't see. That's where fear enjoys. That's where fear just hangs out. Fear loves to be in the dark. All the scary things happen in the dark. Ooh, you turn the lights off, and you say this person's name 3 times, and it's gonna get spooky. Fear loves the dark. Fear loves secrecy. Fear loves the unknown. Woo! That dirty fear, that's where it resides. But when you start to write it down and you start to think about the reality and the possibility of those things actually coming to place, you'll start to see this thing ain't as big as you think it is. You know, you worried about things and you're just like, oh man, this is gonna happen, or that's gonna happen, we're gonna lose the house, we're gonna lose the money. Man, forget all that. You can't control that. What can you really control? Leaders, what can we really control? What are we really in control over? Man, you can't even control if your heart beats or not. The thing that you should be worried about, the thing that should worry you the most is if your heart gonna beat. But that's the thing that we don't worry. We just take it for granted. But we can't even control. If you wanted your heart to stop beating right now, you said, okay, I want my heart to stop beating. I'm not talking about suicide, but I just want to physically stop the muscle from boom, 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 boom. You couldn't control that. You can't control hair being on your head. You can't control, obviously. There's so many things that we can't control, but it seems like we enjoy spending time with fear. Fear is like a bad kid. Don't give it no more. The more you give fear attention, the more it starts to become bigger. It's like a gremlin. Remember that movie, The Gremlins? those little cute little fuzzy little things. They start feeding them and they start growing. That's what fear is. So I want you to starve your fear. So leaders, write down your fears. Write down the thing that you're afraid of. Heck, bring it out a little bit more. Write down the thing that you're afraid of in your family. What are the things that you're afraid of? And let me tell you something. Although fear likes to be in the dark, and although oftentimes those things don't come to pass, the reality is fear and faith operate on the same wavelength. They operate in the same, like, spiritual house. What do you mean? If you fear something wholeheartedly, it will oftentimes come to pass. Because you basically invert your faith to start to believe it in the thing that's scary. Oh man, I hope I'm saying this right. You basically start to have fear. You attract the thing that you think about the most. You attract the thing that you start to illuminate in your mind the most. Your mind is so powerful. And once it goes to conscious to subconscious, you are essentially creating the life that you want to see. And if it's a scary, spooky, fearful life, it's because you created it in your mind and then it manifests itself. So I'm telling you, spend more time with your faith. Spend more time thinking about all the things that can go right. Spend your time thinking about all the things that will happen good in your life. Take the time to think about all the things that are going good in your life. That's why they say your attitude determines your altitude. Have an attitude of gratitude. Leader, you have to create a culture within yourself first. I'm sorry. I was at a boys' basketball game. This ain't from the club, ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Abraham wasn't at the club. I'm not against clubs, but this ain't from the club. Like, oh, he just gonna say a video right after coming from the club. No, I was at a basketball game, and my nephew, shout out to Solomon Jackson III. He plays for a great high school here in Buffalo, and they did their thing. They lost. But they lost by 1 point. Those are the heartbreakers, man. You know, the heartbreakers are the ones you lose by 1 point. It's not, not the game you got blowed out. I played sports for a long time, and I played for a lot of sorry teams. I'm not gonna hold you. I don't know why God allowed me to play for all those sorry teams, but I remember one game, man, we got beat 55-3, and that's football. Good God, we played our Hawkeyes. They beat us something serious. I mean, they put the stank on us. Anyway, I digress. Fear brings things to you like faith brings things to you. Because really, it's not fear of faith at this point. It's really as a man thinking in his heart, so is he. It's the things that we illuminate in our brain. Now, you can illuminate a whole bunch of scary things and have you walking on eggshells and you start to see those things happen, or you can start to illuminate the things that are powerful. Now, the things that I'm talking to you are pretty deep, and it might seem like it does not. You're not going to read this. You're not going to read this in your administration book 101. What I'm talking about is the law of attraction. I'm talking about the thing that you meditate on, the thing that you think about, the thing that you roll around in your mind and your mouth the most is the thing that will happen for you. So when I talk about what's the theme for the new year, and you're trying to create a theme, and you're trying to say this is where we're going and this is what we're going to do, but you haven't dealt with yourself yet. Leaders, the biggest issue that you have, the biggest person you got to deal with first is you. You got to think about how you look at life. What's important to you in life? How do you view life? What is your mental health important? Do you understand work-life balance? Do you understand the law of attraction? Do you understand bringing positive things into your life? Do you understand those things, and do you value those things? Because what you value and what you believe in will show itself. It will manifest itself in the people that you lead. They say you don't know what you put in your kids until they become teenagers and adults. You realize what was the thing you put in your child when they start to fully develop. So if you have an organization that is full of, things that you don't want to see, we got to do a reality check, leader. We got to look in the mirror. If your family, if you're leading your family and you see a whole lot of things you don't want to see, we got to look in the mirror and say, how am I leading this family? What am I doing? What do I believe? And you got to start doing a self-inventory and figure out where you are and how you're leading these people that are following you. Now, there's some people going to excel in spite of bad leadership. But most people don't. So I'm telling you right now, the number one thing I need you to do, leaders, right now is I need you to attack your fear. I need you, before you attack your fear, I need you to first identify your fear. I need you to figure out what are the things that you're afraid of. And then I need you to attack your fear. I do the daily affirmations in the morning time because I'm getting this as I'm speaking to you. I do the affirmations to get you to start to speak positive, start speaking life. But the reality is what I'm trying to do without saying it is attack and address the things that you're afraid of. Because I don't want you to walk in chronic fear. Because chronic fear, it demobilizes individuals. Chronic fear or having a massive amount of fear in your heart, it essentially cripples men. The strongest man, it will cripple because he is thinking in his heart and they get so afraid it'll seize your heart up. People have died because of the things they're afraid of. Nothing happened, they just were afraid. They had panic attacks. Can't breathe. I'm trying to I can't catch my breath. Panic attacks. They're panicking. They're worried. They're afraid. Sometimes I'm telling you, you got to turn off CNN, turn off Fox News, turn off MSNBC, turn off all those news stations. Put the social media aside. Metacognition. Think about what you're thinking about. And if you have fear in an area, if something is worrying you, write it down. And as you write it down and you have it, now we can start to do the work to address it. Because if I'm saying create a theme and create it big and make it great for your staff, and there's hesitation on your part as a leader to make that happen, you got to ask yourself, what are you hesitant about? What are you worried about? What's going on in your mind? I had to do this. When I was a principal, I would have goals down, and I would write goals down. I wrote the goals down, and not only did I write them down, folks, I put them everywhere. Now, that means there's so many things that had to take place for us to have this success. Were there times that I was afraid that we weren't going to hit our goals? Yes. I got a goal right now. I've been telling everybody. I said, hey, my goal is for 2022, we're gonna hit $1 million as a company. That is the goal. That is where we're going. Man, we never hit $1 million before, but that's the goal. And I'm telling everybody, and I'm putting it on the line. Is that scary? Yeah. Why? Because the fear is you don't want people to think that you're a liar. That you didn't actually have what it takes, the failure, the shame, the defeat. But like, what is that? So I'm telling you, like, write down your fears. Because as you write down your fears, then we can start to look at what are they, what is it that, like, will that really happen? What's the likelihood of that happening? And if that does happen, what's the consequence of that happening? So we want to address those fears. We want to look at them. And then after we address those fears, now we want to attack them. How do you attack a fear? You attack the fear by speaking positively the thing that you want to see, not the thing that you're afraid of not seeing. That makes sense? So you might have a goal of grossing 5% higher than you have beforehand, and so that might be the goal. And then you'll say, well, I'm afraid that won't happen, that we might actually go backwards. So now as you look at that and you understand that's the fear, now you say, no, this is what we're going to do. I don't believe you, and I'm going to address this, and this is how we're going to move forward. I sound like it's a little confusing as I say it, so let me try to slow it down a little bit. Look at the thing that you're afraid of, and then speak it out loud. This is what I'm afraid of. This is what I fear might happen. And then, now that you know that, start speaking faith instead of things that making you afraid. Say, no, this is going to happen. This is what I believe is going to happen. This is what I believe is going to happen. And then you say that over and over and over again. And you get people to buy into that. Spend more time doing that and taking control versus spending time having these thoughts run rapid in your mind and you never address them. Spend more time thinking of those things that are good and wonderful and the life you want to live and the goals your company will reach and how you're going to feel once you reach those goals. Think about that versus just letting your mind run rapid and now you're just getting beat down psychologically and fear is going crazy in your mind. Don't allow that. Essentially, leaders, I'm telling you to take control over your thought process. It's not impossible. It's not impossible to take control over your thoughts. This is what I'm asking you to do, leaders. Because if you don't rein in your thoughts, if you don't control what you're thinking, it's going to control you. Woo! If you don't control what you're thinking, your thinking going to control you. If you don't set the temperature in your mind and set the temperature in the direction of where you're going, your life is going to be on autopilot and it's going to land you in some places that you don't want to be in. How did I get here? You reflecting over your life. I want to be in control over my life. I want to be in control over my organization. And it starts here. It starts in your thinking. So leaders, this is your year. No more fear. We're going to starve our fears and we're going to feed our faith. We're no longer hanging out and spending time more with our fears than we do our faith. We're going to create a big theme for the new year. This is the year of success. We're going to have focus and discipline because that is going to take us to massive success. 2022 is your year. It's your year for your organization to thrive like never before. It's your year for your family to thrive like never before. It's your year for you to have massive success. I believe it. I promise you this. I'm here with you. In 2022, we doing 365 videos. I keep saying 365. It look like we doing 700 and something videos because I'm doing one affirmation video in the morning time, but then I'm giving you this gas in the evening time. I'm gonna give you this smoke in the evening time. So it look like we doing 2 videos a day. To God be the glory. I'm the #1 speaker in the world. We have the fastest growing consulting company in the country. If you ever need my support, if you ever need more than what I'm giving you on YouTube and Facebook, Instagram, or social media, please do not hesitate in giving me a call. Please do not hesitate in reaching out to me, emailing me, inboxing me. I am very accessible. I will answer all your phone calls. I'll come to your organization to speak. I'll do whatever you need for you to be more successful because that is my desire. My desire is to see you be successful. My desire is to see you win because Dr. Abraham knows how to win. And I'm giving you everything I got in these videos and I'm giving you everything I got in these affirmations because I want you to win. I want you to win so badly. I want you to have so much success. I want the world to know. I want the world to know that you are what success looks like. And if you change your mind and change your words and change your words and put systems in place, your organization can make millions of dollars. Your school could be the #1 school in the country. Your family could just have massive success in everything they do. I want them to know that we're not going to be hindered by fear. We're not going to be people that is going to let this disease kill us emotionally and mentally and psychologically. We are going to win in 2022. We're not going to fail and say it's war is me. We're not going to buy into the idea that we're burnt out. We're not going to buy into this idea of being depressed. We are going to be victorious in everything we do. We're going to be successful in everything we do. We're going to have high energy. We're going to be excited. We're going to be fired up. We're going to take life by the horns, and we're going to live the life that we want to live. It is possible, and it will happen. It's going to happen. It's happening right now. Your life is changing for the better right now, I promise you. Family, I love you. Leaders, I love you. That's why I do what I do. I want to see you win. That's what I do. That's what every single day I'm coming here and give you a video. I'm giving you hope, giving you inspiration. I'm trying to push you into success because I love you. Until next time, this is Dr. Mark Abraham, President and CEO of MEA Consulting Services, LLC. Again, if you need anything more than what I'm giving you on social media, pull up. I'm pulling up. Call me. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't. I don't know. Call me. I coach leaders around the country. I speak to leaders around the world. Don't worry. Holler at me. There's not too many things I haven't heard and not too many things I haven't seen. I got you. Until next time. Peace.